PTL Pro represents the AI in Agriculture podcast where technology shapes the future of farming.
Okay, so ready to dive into something a little different.
Always.
It's something we're all pretty familiar with, though, sugar. But, like, specifically, sugar beets, you know?
Right. The, what are they called? The unsung heroes of the sweetener world.
Exactly. I mean, everyone knows sugarcane, but sugar beets, they're holding it down. They're the second biggest source of sugar we use.
And even then, I'd bet most people aren't picturing a sugar beet when they put sugar in their coffee.
Totally. But you want to know something even more behind the scenes?
Hit me with it.
Sugar beet. Seeds.
Seeds, okay. Getting granular.
Right, like who knew there was a whole world in there? Turns out there's a ton of science going on with those tiny things, and get this, AI is getting involved.
No kidding. Yeah, actually, this paper we're looking at today, it really digs into that, how AI can be used to, like, sort those seeds. And it's crazy accurate.
Hold on, back up a sec. So we're talking about object detection with AI here. For those of us who aren't, coding robots in our spare time.
Sure. Okay, so think of it like this.
Yeah.
You know how self-driving cars work, right?
Yeah.
They've got to be able to see a pedestrian, a stop sign, whatever, and react.
Right. It's like they've got eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So object detection is kind of like giving a computer those eyes. But in this case, instead of teaching it to recognize, like, a person, we're training it to tell the difference between types of sugar beet seeds.
Wait, hold up. Types. I thought a seed was a seed. What's the big difference here?
So get this, there's something called monogerm seeds and multigerm seeds. And the easiest way to think about it is like having a baby.
Okay.
Monogerm, that's like one baby at a time, one embryo in the seed, nice and simple. But multigerm, that can be like having twins, triplets, all bundled up in there.
Oh, wow. I'm getting claustrophobic just thinking about it. So I'm guessing that causes problems when you're trying to grow them.
You got it. If you plant a multigerm seed, you might end up with like a whole mess of beet plants all crammed together, fighting for space and nutrients. It's chaos instead of one nice, healthy plant.
Yeah, that sounds like my herb garden. Complete anarchy.
So I'm guessing the monogerm seeds, those are the farmer favorites?
Absolutely. Monogerm seeds are like the VIPs of the sugar beet world.
Yeah.
Way easier to plant precisely, and you get much healthier plants overall, better yields. The whole shebang. It's all about maximizing those beets.
Makes total sense. So if these multi-embryo seeds are such a pain, why not just, chuck them out?
Ah, see, that's the thing. There are ways to separate them, traditional methods.
Oh.
But here's the catch. They're not perfect. They take forever, and sometimes you accidentally lose some of those precious monogerm seeds in the process.
What a waste.
Totally. And nobody wants to waste a good seed. Right. And that's exactly where this whole AI thing comes in. This research is all about using AI to sort those teeny tiny seeds way faster and more accurately than we ever could before.
Okay, so we're teaching a computer to play one of these things is not like the other with seeds.
Yeah.
Under a microscope? I mean, how do they even start with that? It all boils down to good old-fashioned data, and I'm talking massive amounts of it.
Okay, so what, like a spreadsheet of seeds?
Not quite. They took like hundreds of images of both types of seeds, monogerm and multigerm, using a super high-resolution digital microscope. I mean, these were some seriously detailed close-ups.
Like a professional photo shoot for seeds. Were they fancy, organic, heirloom seeds? What were we working with here?
Actually, they used a variety called Terra Nova, which is known for being super resistant to disease, which is a big deal for farmers. So they've got all these pictures, right? And they use them to train two different AI models, YOLO 4 and YOLO 4 Tiny.
Hold on, YOLO. Like, you only live once. Are we getting philosophical with our sugar beets now?
Not quite. In this case, YOLO stands for You Only Look Once, which is, it's a type of object detection algorithm. The gist is these YOLO versions, they each come with like a trade-off, right? Accuracy versus speed.
Ooh, okay, I'm intrigued. Break it down for me.
So picture this. YOLO 4, that's like your fancy high-speed bullet train, yeah? Super accurate, but it might take a bit longer to get where it's going because it's processing so much.
Makes sense. And the tiny one?
YOLO 4 Tiny, that's your zippy little scooter, built for speed. It might sacrifice a teeny bit of accuracy to get things done quickly. And here's the kicker. This tiny model, they actually designed it to run on like way smaller hardware, which is huge.
Okay, so we're not talking some massive room-sized supercomputer.
Nope. We're talking about something called an NVIDIA Jetson. Basically, a tiny AI brain. Like you could fit it in your hand. You could stick it right into a seed sorting machine.
Wow. So no need for a whole server farm, just plug and play and bam, AI-powered seed sorting on the go. That's incredible. But okay, bottom line, did it actually work? What kind of results did they get with these YOLO models? Give me the nitty-gritty.
All right, so they put these AI models through their paces, fed them hundreds of new seed images, the ultimate test. See how well they could pick out the monogerm from the multigerm.
Okay, so it was like a big AI exam. How'd they do? What were the scores?
All right, so remember how we were talking about that trade-off, speed versus accuracy?
Yeah.
So with YOLOF 4 Tiny, the one on that little Jetson Nano, they were getting between 81% and 99% accuracy when it came to spotting those monogerm seeds.
Whoa, that's a pretty big range there, isn't it? What's up with that?
Yeah, you're right. That is a big spread. And that's kind of the thing with YOLOF 4 Tiny. It's all about speed, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's moving so fast, making those snap judgments, that the accuracy can dip a bit, especially if the image is kind of tricky.
So it's like it's skimming the textbook instead of really studying.
Exactly. But here's the cool part. When they ran the same tiny model on a slightly beefier Jetson, the TX2, the accuracy shot way up.
More power, better results, makes sense. Okay, but what about that YOLOF 4, the more accurate one? How'd that do?
Oh, YOLOF 4 came to play. Even on that smaller Jetson Nano, it was killing it with accuracy, like consistently nailing it between 95% and 99% accuracy for the monogerm seeds and multigerm, 95% to 100%.
Dang, those are some seriously impressive numbers. But bring it back down to earth for a second. I mean, this is all super cool. But what does it actually mean for, well, me? For the average person who just wants to, enjoy a cookie without thinking about seed sorting robots?
Oh, totally. It might seem kind of niche, right? But this has huge implications. Think about it, more accurate sorting. That equals less waste of those good monogerm seeds, right?
Yeah.
And less waste means lower costs for the farmers in the long run.
Okay, so it's all connected. More efficient farming through AI. That could mean more affordable sugar for everyone. Now, that's something I can get behind. But is this just a one-off, or are there other examples of AI, like shaking things up in the agriculture world?
Oh, man, this is just the tip of the iceberg, seriously. AI and machine learning are popping up everywhere in agriculture these days. Like this same paper, they mentioned studies using similar stuff for, get this, identifying cracked corn kernels.
Which anyone who's made popcorn knows can be a total bummer.
Right. Or even sorting ginger. They're doing that too with AI.
So it's not just self-driving cars and writing poetry anymore. AI is getting down and dirty on the farm. This is wild. Okay, but before we go too far down the rabbit hole here, let's circle back to our sugar beet buddies. What are the big takeaways we should remember about this research? This is seriously blowing my mind. We're talking sugar beet seeds and AI brain power all in one go. It shows you how much tech is changing everything, even stuff you'd never think about.
It really does. And, the researchers actually brought up a really interesting point about the future of these AI models. They could get even more accurate. Remember how we were saying YOLO 4 was the accuracy champ, but slower because it's bigger and more complex?
Right. It was taking its sweet time to analyze everything.
Exactly. So what they're saying is, even though these tiny models are doing amazing work, there's still room to grow. We can give them even more information.
More data, more of those super detailed seed pictures.
Yep. It's imagine giving these AI brains a giant stack of textbooks to study. More data means they can become even more accurate, even faster in the future.
So we could have AI that's both super fast and ridiculously accurate. That's kind of wild.
It is. And it's not just limited to farming either. Think about all the other things we could apply this to.
I know, right? I mean, if we can train AI to tell the difference between these tiny little seeds with such insane precision, what else could it do? The possibilities are pretty much endless.
Exactly. It really makes you think about what the future holds, and honestly, it's exciting. But I think the biggest takeaway here is that AI is getting smarter and more accessible all the time. And that's going to change a lot more than just how we grow our food.
No kidding. This has been, surprisingly inspiring. Who would have thought that sugar beets would lead us down this whole AI rabbit hole?
Right. It just goes to show there's always something new to learn, even if it starts with something as seemingly simple as a seed.
That's so true. Well, next time you're, baking a cake or something, take a second to appreciate the science behind those sweet ingredients. You might even have a little AI to thank for it. This deep dive has been incredible.
Totally agree.
From tiny seeds to cutting-edge technology, we've covered it all. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of sugar beets and AI. Until next time.